Hello everyone, my name is Cristhian Matiz. Today I'm going to talk about the immigration reform that Donald Trump wants to apply once he's elected president. I don't know if he's going to be elected, but hey, well, that's, Americans are weird. At the end, I'm going to show you the two conclusions that I got to by analyzing everything that he had to say. Also, the video has not much information, so for that, to get a better understanding of everything, I went to the webpage you can see below. It's www.donaldjtrump.com/position/immigration reform, which is a webpage that talks about everything that Donald Trump's what to do. So in this webpage, you could find two subtitles that were very discussable. There were some more, but this is the ones that really get to the point that I want to show you. The first is: a nation without borders is not a nation. What does it mean? That he wants to delimitate the United States to finally get the immigrants out of the United States. So what we can see here is that he first wants to build a wall and then take all of them out of the wall. All of the illegal immigrants out of the wall. My thinking about this is that this wall means segregations. Once again, as we've seen in many other moments of history, walls have segregated people and have stopped progress. And we know that America has a lot of progress, and he's the one that actually exports progress. What does it mean? Like, having this border would mean that having this wall could mean that a lot of these advantages that has the connection with the United States can be finished. Why? Because a wall is not only outside in, it's two directions. It's more difficult for people to get in, as well as it's more difficult for people to get out of it. Well, something else that appeared in the webpage was this subtitle that you can see here: is "Make Mexico Pay for the Wall." What does it mean? As you may know, Mexico is one of the countries that send the most immigrants to the United States. A lot of them are illegal. So what he proposes is that Mexico has to give the money to build the wall, or at least give money for what illegal immigrants had done to the United States, which I don't think is really possible. So I think this is just not happening, at all. I don't think Mexico is going to give any money for what illegal immigrants had done. So what we can see here is that it's exaggerated. It's exaggerated because Donald Trump uses examples of a 66-year-old woman who was raped and sodomized and killed, and by of course an illegal immigrant. And he also uses the example of the gangs in LA. I'm sorry, I have to say here, this is totally exaggerated, because yes, this was done by illegal. They might be have done by illegal immigrants, but Americans do it too. You cannot deny that rapes and killers can be also American, and gangs in LA and mostly from illegal immigrants. But in other parts of the United States, there are a lot of gangs who are built by Americans, for Native Americans. Well, not native like indigenous, but native, the ones who live there, who were born there. So this is also unfair for legal immigrants. It is because I do think that he's right in the fact that most of the legal immigrants have gone through paperwork, to a lot of things, through lists that can for year in one of those electable lists, just to get in the United States. So it is really unfair that a person just jumps the line and it gets immediately a lot of good treatment to them. Yeah, so no, so there's the difference. There's people who did the right job and they don't receive anything, but illegal immigrants receive a lot. So the second point I want to discuss here is a nation that does not serve its own citizens. It's not a nation. You can see here that immigrants, as we heard in the video, immigrants cost much money, a lot of money, too much money to the United States. And I have to talk about here a personal. So I currently have a relative living there in the United States, and he found a woman who was living there before. He's also an illegal immigrant. She is also an illegal immigrant, and she receives a subsidy for living there. And there's a lot of immigrants, of illegal immigrants, that live there without working because they receive subsidies from the government. I don't think this is fair, because here in Colombia it's happening the same. Like, I am not rich or anything, but poor people, if you want to call it like that, are receiving so many things that, and they don't have to move one finger to receive it. But the people who actually works, people who work, people who study, people who do it all in the right way and can and do the things, they don't receive anything. A good student does not receive much, but a person who is in the poor sides of the city can receive a lot of things only for living there. What does it mean that poor people is living from the government? And it's the same is happening there with illegal immigrants. These people is living there from the government and they're just living for free, and I don't think that's fair when there's people who work the whole life to get to something, to receive any money. So also there are immigrants taking the jobs from Americans, illegal immigrants taking the job from Americans, and I don't think that's fair either. Think about it, as here in Colombia, here you can see that there are a lot of, well, not a lot, but some Americans, some North Americans, who come here and they're teaching English. We as teachers of English, we don't get that opportunity because they have already gotten them all. So isn't it something annoying that an American, just because he is a native speaker of the language, of the English language, can come here and teach English, but we, the person who studied for that, who made an effort for that, we can't do that. We have to sit and watch them doing the job that we studied for. So I think that's the same. I don't think it's fair. An American wants to have a job, but he cannot get it because an illegal immigrant is doing it. So I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair at all. So here I want to show you my conclusions about everything. The first one is I do agree with illegal immigrants being sent back home. I'm sorry if this sounds harsh. Illegal people doesn't do much for the country, and I can relate to that, and we can relate to that. And finally, I do not agree with Donald Trump being the one who does it, because he is focusing the wrong way. He's trying to build a wall. He's being exaggerated in things. He's not focusing on what's important. Of course, I do think that illegal immigrants have to be sent home. But you cannot limitate the contact of the country to the other countries. So this is my mind map, guys. At the end, these are my conclusions. This is what I could understand, what I could make out of everything. I wish you guys have understood everything that I said, and I hope to see you later.